Um, I don't like that light. Who is there? Wait, who is there? Did I share it everywhere? Wait, who is there? Did I share it? Did I share it? Hmm? Hello? Who's there? Who's there? This light is so much on my face. Yep. Mukbang Saturday. Let's do some mukbang. Hello. Who's there with me? Who's there with me? Hmm? I'm by myself. Can you hear me? Let me get a yes or no so that I know what's going on. Can you hear me? Oh, Lucy, I knew you'd be the first one there. So it's mukbang Saturday. This is the food that I hide from the camera. And this is what I broadcast with. Because the world loves pretenders. So I'm just trying to get social approval by having this in front of me, but secretly eating that. This is rice and okra and everything. So please comment, like, share, add people for me. This is a very important bulletin today. And I prayed for myself to be calm because it's very important bulletin. Yeah. As soon as I get online, on live, people start chatting me elsewhere. Is my camera all right? In this video, we'll be talking about how I have managed to stay afloat despite being jobless in the UAE. Lucy, is my camera all right? I feel it's very far from me today. This is not normal. Let's put it something like that. That is more, yeah. It's perfect. Okay. So today I'm going to share about my hustle. How I have not killed myself over the last 5 months now. Yes, 5 months. I have done a lot of things. Lucy, tag people for me. Tag them for me so that they join us and listen to this, because apparently the people who still have their jobs are a lot more desperate than those who have lost their jobs. Yeah. Come on, guys, join me. At least let's have 5 people. Just 5. Is it? Seems okay. Let's have a little bit more people. Please share, comment, like, so that we have a little bit more people. Please, maybe 1 or 2 minutes more. Waiting for you to share, like, comment. Let's be at least 5. Are we there? All right, I think we will start with just the 3 that we have. Anyone else can do a playback later. It's perfectly okay. The main aim of this live is to disseminate information that could be helpful for people across the board. That is, people who are still working, who still have their jobs actually, and people who lost their jobs in the course of the pandemic, of which I'm one of them. So I will be speaking 100% based on experience and tried and tested hustles, if I could call them that, tried and tested and approved, that can work. Because in the last couple of months, maybe let's just talk about September, I have made more than I would have made if I stayed on the temporary contract that Emirates is currently giving. So I'm not losing much on anything, and I thank God that I'm able now to be more aggressive than I would have been if I was still under the umbrella of employment. I have done a video here on YouTube whereby I shared, it's also down on the link. It's right now in the description box, I think maybe 3 or 4 sentences down. And it's 7 ways to stay afloat, or 7 ways to manage redundancy. The irony is that I did this specific video on the 4th of July and I lost my job on the 12th. It's exactly 1 week from the date I uploaded that I lost my job. I don't know if this was a preparation for me, but I'm happy that I got to do such a feature. So now at least I entered redundancy or termination of my contract from a point of knowledge, or from a point of knowing what next. And from the kind of inboxes I've been getting, I think the people who still have their jobs appear a lot more depressed, if I could use that word, or a lot more frustrated. I don't know if it's coming from the fact that maybe the money they're getting is not enough to cater for their liabilities, or maybe they're a lot depressed than us because they don't know what next. Toast to that. I think I cracked it this time. They may be a lot more depressed than those that lost their jobs because they don't know what next. And the state of uncertainty is never friendly for anybody. A state of suspense, nobody likes that. So these are the things that are actually, hello, oh, thank you very much, Ubong. Thank you, Yubi, for coming through. I really do appreciate your presence. You are among the people that keep me going, and I really do appreciate that. So on my previous video that came on the 4th of July, I shared 7 ways to manage redundancy. And the first one was register as an Uber driver. The second one was engage in odd jobs. I'm going to clarify that later, what I have applied and has kept me afloat. Sometimes probably I could say I'm doing better than some of the people who are still employed in the contract that I did not go for. I mean, when I say this, I'm referring to the Emirates airline. Right now, the people doing customer service, the one who would ordinarily check you in whether you're flying economy, business, or first class, right now some money they're taking home is not up to 4,000, plus or minus all allowances is not up to 4,000. So this is just between you and I. Nothing personal. This is between you and I. And the next thing was rent your car. That is applicable if you have a car. And the other one was become a distributor. I have pretty much done this. And become a transcriber. I gave you all the alternatives you needed way before we knew that we are going to lose jobs in our millions. And the other one was start an online shop. This specific one I did not try. And even at that time, I knew it was not going to be applicable for me. And the other one was share your space. So these are all things that I gave you, and I'm going to talk about each and every one the way I've done, plus the bonus which I have done that was not included in this list initially. It's like, you know, my sense of being alert or being able to, it's like I became an opportunity magnet. That is the most straightforward statement for it. I became an opportunity magnet from the time that I was confirmed jobless or having lost my job through Emirates Airline. So let's go step by step. Register as an Uber driver. I did not necessarily go for the Uber driver thing, but I still do something that is very much in line with that. I use my car, it's very well maintained. I am not far off from finishing my auto loan or installments. If you are in the UAE or in the Gulf region or just anywhere in the world, you may understand that a lot of people get their vehicles on a plan. I personally did that on a 5-year plan. If I knew better when I was getting my car, maybe I would have gone for something else that was on a 3-year plan. But nonetheless, I have zero regrets because I love that car. I call it my baby. So I did not necessarily register as an Uber driver, but what I did is try to get people who are going to, you know, not normal, very normal places. You try to be discreet about it because already the system does not recognize it as an official way to make money. It could be risky for me to talk about it here online, but it does not really matter at this point because at the beginning of 2019, they made it okay for anyone in Dubai to be able to do an extra job that gives them money, provided it does not conflict, provided there is no conflict of interest between your current employer and the thing that you are doing as your side job. Way before the pandemic, my side job was more of photo shoots and fashion shows, and that will come on later as a bonus point because still in that very line, I don't necessarily have to go back as a fashion model. I don't necessarily have to go back as somebody who is coming for a fashion show. I could go on as somebody else, which I have right down here. So I'm gonna be sharing that with you shortly. Right now in Dubai, there is a cricket championship going on in Dubai Sports City. So if you see on my very first live session, I said gathering intelligence is very key and gathering intelligence is very important. Now, from this little intelligence I gather on things that are going around, I believe I've been able to tap onto every opportunity that I know of. You understand, like just 2 days back, the highest fountain in the world was launched at the Point Dubai. That is in Palm Jumeirah. So I knew that. I tried to know who is doing what where, so I could make this to my benefit. Unfortunately, I was very late with this knowledge of the launch, but nonetheless, I still gained. How did I gain? I learned of some security guards who are going to work there. I asked them, you people are staying very far. How are you going to manage? Because that place is not necessarily this is how we'll be going. So for that reason, I made myself useful and resourceful. And from there, I got $50 just from knowing that something is happening at the point. And now maybe I will have a different content altogether when I go to cover on the highest fountain of the world, which is right now seated at the Atlantis beach. Yeah, it's Atlantis, yes, at the Point in Dubai. So I got myself into a contract. Some of you who have access to me on WhatsApp, maybe you'd have seen a weird video on my WhatsApp status today. Those are security guards. They are about 6 or 7 of them. So the number keeps fluctuating, but nonetheless, at any given time, I have 6 of them. What am I doing with 6 security guards? You may ask yourself, which is very much okay because I'm going to explain that right now. I got into a contract. I wrote it. I told them, okay, you people have been contracted responsible for security at the Dubai Sport City Stadium, the cricket stadium that is, from the time the championship ends, start until the time the championship ends. I told them between this time you will be staying in the same place and your duty timings are going to remain the same. Now, how do you plan to be maneuvering or, going up and down? And from that, I just knew that, hey guys, we can help each other. You have a job, you have a contract to do for 2 months. Give me that same contract for 2 months. So I'll be taking you to work and bringing you back. Now, you may ask yourself, how is she doing it? It's business. It's all about networking. Now, my car is a sedan. At any given time, I can carry 3 people in the back and 1 person front with me. And due to the COVID restrictions, you're not really allowed to carry that much. So I entered another contract with somebody else who needs it. I was like, I drive a sedan, you drive a Sienna or whichever type of car it is, which can take in more people. So we are like, you are driving in a 7-seater alone to work every day. Thank God you have your job. Now, why don't we trade the cars so that I use your car into something that benefits me? Now, we entered a very good agreement. He said, okay, this is the much I will take for you using my car for this period. I say, okay, and you will be using my car. Whichever way you look at it, it's a win-win situation. And the people I'm dropping is also a win-win situation. So this kind of helps me to forecast my financial planning between the time this very tournament starts and the time it ends. So you see, I did not end up as an Uber driver, but I still do something in that line which help people and also make sure that there is food on my table. Like this one I have right now. I still do treat myself very well. It's only that I try to channel and focus your energy only on my YouTube platform because my interest is to grow it. To be honest, I don't do people. I just tell you the truth. I know the world is more impressed with people that lie, people that pretend, people that trying to keep up, but I don't have the need for that. And that is why I come straight up and tell you I stopped posting my food because I want to focus all your energy into my YouTube platform. Yes, you can have some fruit. Can I drop my location, Lucky Star? Yes, you can have some fruit and you're welcome anytime to have the fruits with me. We are going to the next item that we make sure you have food on your table. The next one I had is do odd jobs. Thank God I've not really done any odd jobs, but I have had access to odd jobs from what I share right here on YouTube. Now, I got an odd job, somebody, they needed people to clean up their houses somewhere in Jumeirah, just around the Jumeirah Road. But since I knew myself, I'm becoming a known person, like a known face, I knew I did not want to do that. So this person, I asked them, how many people do you want? They say, I need at least 3 girls who are very portable. So I understood the requirement, and I know some girls right here in our vicinity who lost their jobs as well, who are going on overstay, who needs assistance day in, day out with their food, with their utilities and all that. I told them, okay, there is this little job. It pays this much, but you are not the one contracted. I can link you. How can we work it out? So my second name during this time even became Commission. So if you call Commission, I may mistakenly look at you thinking it's me you're referring to. So I got this little job for these 3 girls, of which I was good enough also to drop them to the location of work and did not charge them, but I told them this is the much you're paying, but since I connected you and it's more of a temporary permanent situation, you know, you need it at least till the end of 2020, so that is more like a channeled or a more streamlined source of income for you, so give me my side of the bargain. And they were nice, so they gave me the side of the bargain. All right, the next thing that I shared then was rent my car. For sure, I did rent my car. And I was very lenient. You see, in times like this, you need people who can help you and you help each other. So I rented my car to my very best friend, and it helped me not to have any bouncing check with the bank, being that I don't have money to deposit. So I told them, consider it a car rental, deposit on my behalf this and this amount in my bank so that my check does not bounce. Okay, the next one was become a distributor. Now, this one has been a little bit of a situation because most of these distributing companies, they also need some surety from their side. It's like we are giving you, we are trusting you with delivery with a parcel. We also need some surety from your side that you're not going to do anything that is going to compromise us as a company. So you find the people that followed my advice and joined the delivery job. I someone got into this company called One Click Delivery. Now they pay only 4,000 dirhams and they keep your passport. That was the downside of it. They keep your passport. You see, like Amazon pays 5,800. One Click Delivery pays 4,000 only, and they keep your passport. I think that is a very I don't know how to put it, but it's not something that is legal at this point, but that is how they operate. At least they have a surety that nothing is going to compromise or jeopardize their position, which again is their discretion, and whoever works with them and accept this setting is well and good for them. The other thing that I said was start an online shop. Well, I did not really dwell around this because I knew it's not my thing, but there are people who have done it. You also have to put in mind that there are challenges that are going to come with such things, considering that from the time the pandemic came, online shopping became very popular. It actually shot up by about 500%, meaning ordinarily anyone who will go to Al Maya supermarket or Al Madina or Carrefour or wherever, they suddenly needed delivery. One for their own safety and one because it became popular, because shops were not now readily letting you to come in because of the whole social distancing protocols and stuff. And the last one was share your space. Personally, I did not do that. And right from the inception, I said I was not going to do it. And now the bonus, I promised myself that this live is going to be very, very brief and very impacted, like more compressed, more material that is relevant for you in the least possible time. So what else did I do? I got myself into contracts. I got myself into very little contracts, like, there is a guy that comes to Dubai, he still does come, and he buys mobile phones. So when he buys mobile phones, he ships them. And you cannot carry more than 50 or 60 mobile phones per passenger when you're going. So it takes like little by little. So per any given time, as one passenger, without paying it for cargo, you can carry only 12 mobile phones. Now the logic behind not having so many is because of the lithium compound that is in the batteries of the mobile phones, that they say can make explosion where they're up on air or aboard or something like that. So I entered contract with this guy. So from time to time, I simply go to Dera, pick up a few phones and come and stack them here in my house. Now, I did not say that so that somebody will come and attack me. Guys, my safety is my top priority. So I find myself in a contract with this guy. We say, okay, whichever number of times I pick, even if I pick one phone or 20 phones or 30 phones, it does not matter. For every trip, you pay me XX amount of money. And that, to be very fair, has made sure that my car does not run out of fuel to run my other errands, like the Uber thing that I told you. In fact, from this time, I got to know so many people that are going to the airport. In fact, I was just on call. Lizzie, I'm going to the airport. And it was my favorite thing to do. I felt like I have helped people who were getting repatriated, because it's almost day after day I had someone to take to the airport, and it was the norm. It's like it got to a point that my mind has already budgeted for that money before it's in my pocket. Before I receive a call, I already know that by this time I need to free up. Somebody may be going to the airport and I don't want to tell them no. I need to have that money. And that is how it has worked. Okay, and I also started doing photo shoots. I really invested, I put a lot of work on the photo shoot thing. That is why I said earlier, when pre-coronavirus, I used to do photo shoots as the moose, you know, as the one that poses and poses and poses. Sometimes they draw you, sometimes they take photo of you, sometimes they just apply makeup. I was used to being the moose or go for the fashion shows. But now, if I miss the opportunity to be a model on the ramp, then I have the opportunity to be on the other side doing the photography. Okay, I have been able to do a number of photo shoots. I did so many photo shoots, but on pro bono basis. Hey, what is pro bono? You're going to ask me. Now, before you get all worked up, pro bono is doing something for free, sometimes for your benefit, sometimes for not your benefit or whatever it is. But I did a lot of pro bonos. But after that, I also got blessed with a few photo shoots that actually paid. You may have not seen that online because I have worked mostly with children, and a lot of mothers don't really want the photos of their children online, which I respect that. It's part of the ethics of that specific job that I did. So if somebody says, Lizzie, I don't want to see my photos on your status, I don't want to see my photos online, send them to me as they are, I simply respect that. I say, here is your photos, where is my money, and it's a done deal. So I've been doing a lot of photo shoots. So if you know somebody that needs a photo shoot for whatever occasion, so long as it does not need the permits from Dubai police, just let me know. I will give them a very interesting price, you know, like a price to invite them, a price to market myself, and a price to give myself the opportunity to show exactly what I can do behind the lens. And aside from that, I also started getting in touch with these pro photographers who are known all over Dubai. I'm like, you need an assistant, because some of them have the big camera that they may need someone to hold the reflector or remain behind the prop or take videos, you know. So I can be an assistant. Like today is a Saturday afternoon. If I get something, I run for it. I mean, I would rather be somewhere reclining and sipping something else, but if I get such an opportunity, I go for it. And that is the reason why there are people who are still employed, my ex-colleagues, and they contact me and ask me, Lizzie, how are you doing it? Lizzie, how are you managing? Now, these are the small steps that I've not disregarded, that have kept me going, that has made me to comfortably say that I am sometimes better than the person who still have their job. You know, there's nothing as bad being over 30 years and having a job that you can lose any minute, a job that they can replace you any minute. And now moving on to that, I went on to my mega investment of 2020. It was a mega investment, and don't talk me out of it. I know there is not so many Kenyans who invest in their residence visas. Now, as disappointing as this may sound, I worked with Emirates for 3 years. So basically, I finished the first contract. Now, if I tell you the amount that I walked out with as end of service, you will feel pity for me. In fact, right now, I still feel pity for the people who are there. Imagine working for 15 years in one company and your end of service check is not even up to 50,000 dirhams. You know, to me, that is the best definition of wasted years. There is no any other ideal definition of wasted years than that. Now, I only worked for 3 years. You can imagine somebody who has been here for 15 years getting around 42,000. How much more me that I've only been here for 3 years? I did not even get the opportunity to finish the first contract. Now, I feel bad for them, but it's not my concern because I am out of the loop at the moment. Now, I invested on my residence visa. This is relief. This is a gamble. I am equivalent of somebody who went to the casino and took all my life savings and bet them and put them on one poker game. That is exactly what I've done by getting a license. Aside from that, this is my grand project. What I'm holding here is actually a trading license. You may ask yourself, why is she now holding trading license on our faces? Oh, hold on. There is a lot of you who are so pro-employment. I remember I just did some few jobs and I left them and people were like, Lizzie, why did you leave that? Why did you resign? Do I need to wear glasses so that you look at me well or so that I see you well? This here is a trade license. It is the biggest gamble of my life. I am disclosing it on a live session to those of you who are watching with me right now. Now, in this trade license, let me bring it up close to the camera. Don't take any numbers from this. If you see anything on this, just type what you saw. Just type what you saw. Be nice. So whoever will skip the video and not watch it, maybe they will read your comment. Now, this is a trading license. Me and like-minded person went ahead and created a company. Now, the honest truth is that we don't know how things are going to be. The honest truth is that we don't know, but we just believe that we can do it. Now, I have a trade license with me, Elizabeth Njoga, as a partner owning 50% of the company and my partner owning 50% of the company. Now, this is a gamble. You may ask me, Lizzie, what's up in your head? I honestly don't know what's up in my head, but I have a company. I have a company now that today you may not celebrate me for starting a company, but the next thing when I hire somebody to manage this company, you will then be congratulating this person. I cannot be offended because a lot of people have the employment mentality. And if you follow much of people who are successful in life, they don't crowd at the bottom. So that's what I told myself. Let's start this company. To hell with somebody who can tell me any day, Lizzie, you are terminated. So right now, I have a big responsibility. Even in this partnership, I think I am the head. Do I look like I can be a good head? What do you think? Oh, come on, guys, tell me. So in this partnership right now, we have a company. I'm already working on what colors we want. I'm already writing the company profile. So if I ignore you online, it's because my head is busy. Right now, I am reasoning at the level of CEO. No matter what level of CEO I am, I will not go down the grave without ever owning a company. Now, at the beginning of 2020, I did one simple video. I said this year, all I'm going to do is sit down and eat. And God has allowed me to fulfill that. God has allowed me to realize that. I also mentioned something like, getting a relationship, starting a company and all that. I did not achieve much, but I achieved the company. In that very video, I mentioned starting a company. I did not know it was going to happen like this. I did not know it was going to take me being terminated for me to open up my eyes and see, enough, Lizzie, enough of being told you are fired. So with this, nobody else has the opportunity to fire me. With this, the only thing they can say is that, we awarded the tender to somebody else, which I will respect that. It gives me an opportunity to step up. Now, wish me all the best. We are just starting. It is here. My residence is somewhere because now the procedure is very, very long and I have overstay. Would you believe that? And now have to fight with Emirates over my overstay. Anyway, that is story for another day. Now, with this gamble, if tomorrow something happens and the world opens up and I have the chance to make it big, you all know where it started. It started off as a gamble. It started off as a termination. It started off as me coming up with ideas of what you can do should you lose your job in this pandemic. Less than 10 days later, I was a casualty of that actual job loss. And what I sat down and wrote before I knew I needed it has saved my life. Now, let me give you a quick calculation. If I am able to take somebody to the airport, the contract I have with these security guards, all the things, now I have even given myself a lot of accountability. My friend Lucy told me, open an Excel and write everything. I wrote down the Excel. Sometimes I have to foot some bills instantly, but I come back home and write. I jot down everything that I have gotten from this little contract. Now, my ex-colleague, I think I'm their ex-colleague because they're still working and I am not working, was like, Lizzie, how do you manage your life? You see, they were talking to me as if they pity me, and I was like, you worry about yourself. Because I now sat down and look at where I register every work that I've done, regardless it is 20 dirhams. I write it down. So my income is very, very long with little amount of 50, 100, 120, 500, 200, like that. But would you believe that in the month of September, I actually had more money than my colleagues who are on payroll? I'm not saying this to feel good about myself. I'm not saying this to try and prove a point. I'm simply saying this because if you appreciate the versatility, if you appreciate the flexibility, and if you finally come to terms with how things are, then it becomes a lot easier for you to know what next. So this is what I've done. Now, any of you, feel free to advise me how we can take it forward with our just started company. I am a partner owning 50%, and my partner, maybe we'll do another live together. She's at work right now. You will ask me, Lizzie, what next? Now, I am a partner. You know what that means? If my business does not pick up immediately, I simply write myself a no objection certificate to do any job in the meantime. I mean, how free is that? Like right now, those are the things, those are the setups that I'm currently working on. So I have already prepared an NOC, assuming the whole of 2020 we don't get any deal, assuming maybe until starting of next year. Oh, for the purpose of your curiosity, it's an event management company. What am I allowed to do as per my trade license? You see, it's a professional license. The name is going to be withheld for the moment, but you can see my name right here as the partner. My name is right there as the partner owning 50% of this company. So it is now that I'm coming to learn how to do a lot of things. I'm coming to learn a lot of procedures. I don't want to be the head of a failing company. Yes, the company is already here. It's going to take a lot of work. And the likes of Emirates, it all started like this. So I'm looking at the bigger picture. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take me. It reminds me of the first time when I did a video on YouTube. I was mumbling and fumbling, and people told me, Lizzie, go to YouTube, you can make it. I just did my video on Facebook, and people told me, Lizzie, you can make it, go for it. And now I have reached a milestone of almost 1,500 subscribers. So everything you do, it's all, oh, Boaz, welcome. Thank you very much. So it's all about believing in yourself. So tomorrow, if you do not congratulate me today for starting a company in this crisis, I know it is such a big gamble. It takes depth for you to start rising. You have to bury your beans, you have to bury your maize, you have to bury it before it comes out afresh. And I think for me, it took termination from Emirates. I always considered myself, thank you very much, Lucy, thank you so much. I always, hello Winnie, oh my goodness, you, That is my baby sister. Thank you very much for joining me. I was just about wrapping up, but I really, really do appreciate you coming in. I was waiting for you, honestly. So Winnie, please write there congratulations, because I just got a license. Your sister is currently a partner in a company in Dubai, and my name is the first. So it means in the future, if we have any big event, if we have any small event, it takes my signature for any approvals. So I know the pro-employment battalion will come after me, but no problem, because very soon, if things pick up by the grace of God, we will hire somebody, and then you will have the opportunity to congratulate the person we've hired. That's how sweet it is. That's exactly how sweet it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm very happy that I lost my job in this crisis, because it made me a lot more aggressive. It made me a lot more tolerant. Even right now, a friend is doing a birthday party, but I am going to that party with the intention of making money. And that is how I have been able to foot my bills, to still set my table, to still invest in things like the t-shirts I'm wearing, because I knew it's going to take a sacrifice to be a brand. Now, I hope that this video helps you understand that you don't need a sponsor, you don't need to cry out, you only need yourself, because at the end of this day, you are all you have. So if there is any questions, feel free to drop them in. Feel free to drop them in. And also, let me take this opportunity to say that I'm grateful. I know there is a very small or big crowd here that follow me on YouTube, but there are people also that take very seriously what I share on this channel. In my previous video, I mentioned that Americana is hiring. Now, Americana is the official recruiting agent for KFC. What is KFC? Is your favorite fast food, that is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now KFC are hiring. They're just right across in the building right in front of me right now, and this kind of people applied and they got their jobs. So I do a lot of research. Some things I try out myself. And hello, oh my goodness, I cannot read your name. I think it's Flemmer. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining. I was just giving a recap of how I have been surviving despite my job loss. And maybe some people are not brave enough to tell me, Lizzie, you're an inspiration. I know for some it is pride, but there are people who have privately told me, Lizzie, we look up to you. And I think this places a certain level of responsibility on my shoulder, which I cannot just joke with right now. I cannot just joke with that. And now it's time, the floor is open for people who can assist me, especially on this. I feel like laminating this and just putting it somewhere, so that wherever you come, you see so and so company partner Elizabeth Akot Njoga. I even have an investor number. Forget about the fact that I exhausted all my resources setting this up. It is such a gamble, and I'm happy that I got to do this gamble. So any of you have a question, feel free to drop them in right now. Drop them in as I sip my, oh, YouTube does not acknowledge that, but yeah, I can sip it off camera. Yeah, off camera. Ask me questions, and then I start talking to you about commission. No questions on commission? Drop questions to me, guys. I did not wear my QTV t-shirt just to look anyhow. Come on. I am representing two entities right now. Being the founder of QTV, being CEO of this company. Ask me questions, Jare. Ask me questions. I can tell you one or two things about life, because I am now a company owner and QTV founder. Hey. Just joking. Just joking. So talking about commission. From the time I lost my job, everything has been about commission to me. Yes. Even if I help you talk to your girlfriend, maybe you're fighting, I need my commission. That is how it has worked. And now on my Excel sheet that I told you about, on my Excel sheet, I put a different column that says commission. Now in this commission column, it means I have not used any resources. The only resource I used is my head and the data I use for chatting and back and forth. Now I have got commissions for linking somebody to another. I have got commission for helping a trainer get a small job. There is a guy from Zimbabwe. He plays tennis very well. So I went to Sports City to drop my people, the normal people I drop, and you know I've become very curious. So after dropping them, I found out that they need a tennis person. I told them, do you do tennis? So I did not even tell him that they need to hire. I told him, go and apply, do this and this and this and that. I asked them, so how much are they paying you? Okay, you owe me 200 dirham. And just like that, I had 200 dirham. Now, for your quick estimation, 200 dirham is almost equivalent of $70. That is a lot of money. And there is something else that I've also been doing in Media City. I have been trying to go there. You know, from the time that many people started working from home, there has been a lot of meetings online, Zoom meetings. And now a lot of companies need people to come and transcribe, you know, convert the audios into written form. So if you notice, I've cut my nails so that I can be in my best, so that I can have my best foot forward as far as transcription is concerned. For those of you who want to do transcription, some you can do from home and some you have to go to the place of doing it. Now, there is a lady in Karama, near to Burjuman Center. They need transcribers. So they get voice meetings, the audio meetings for almost a lot of companies all over the world, and they just need transcribers. Your job is simply to listen and type out what you're hearing. That's it. And for every transcription you get 30 dirhams. 30 dirhams is like $8 if I'm not wrong, $8 or $9. Yeah, thereabout. You get that. So if you are somebody who can type 2 articles or 3 articles in a space of 2 hours, you walk home with 100 dirhams just like that. If I was in Kenya, I get that 3,000 just like that. So sometimes after Sports City dropping my security guards, I come because I told you I have a car that I have entered another contract with somebody else. So after I drop them, I see how useful I can be. Sometimes it takes me just being around Media City to know who has a sudden photo shoot, who has a photo shoot that the model did not show up, who needs an extra, who needs transcription. And the reason why I invested in a permanent residence and paid all the money I got from Emirates is because I know when I have this residence, I have my freedom. I am my own boss. I can choose not to show up at work and you pay me for what I have worked for. And that is how it works. And I'm happy that Corona actually helped me to realize that there is a lot more potential that I actually never explored. So that's all, guys. That is all. As you can see, I'm treating myself very well. I said it's gonna be a mukbang. I like rewarding myself when I do a good job. For example, when I do a good job, I come back home and prepare myself very good food. This is what I eat on camera to pretend, but I have chips in the kitchen. Don't ask me why I'm pretending, because the world already loves pretenders. So I'm gonna be blank for a minute or two. If there is any questions, please, you can drop them in now. Lucy, I haven't seen much of you. Are you still there? Always get a question from you, so it feels weird if I don't get. Where are you? Anyone has a question for me? Question. You can ask the founder of QTV a question, or CEO of Alpha Nichols a question. Which one? Who do you want to address? your news presenter, or the CEO. You decide. That's all I have time for since there is no question. Do have a blessed afternoon. That's a sweet fruit, huh? This is rock melon, sweetest fruit ever. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye. Oh, thank you so very much. Lucy has said it was very interesting. So all of you, Lucy's opinion matters. That's it. Bye bye.